To make one thing very clear, I didn't follow the rules. I lied and said I followed them.
Oh my god, you guys, you will never believe what Paedon Brown just said about Kody and Robin.
I've known it for most of my life. That is not the life I want to live. All power to anyone that does right. If you want to live for you, go for it. If you think it's right for you, go for it. I've known it's not right for me.
He's been completely trashing his family lately, especially his dad, Mary, and Robin.
How does Mary or Robin maintain a relationship with you outside of general family gatherings and holidays?
They don't, and I don't try to. It's something that goes both ways that doesn't go either way.
He even talked about how mad his dad was about the "What Does the Nanny Do" shirt that he wore.
He's attacking Robin. I was not. It's a funny shirt.
Well, anyways, guys, I don't want to waste any more time, so let's just get into this. So for some reason, Paedon's just been doing a lot of interviews recently. He went on the Surviving Sister Eyes podcast, and then he also talked to Us Weekly, and you guys, you'll never believe how much he's revealed. I mean, it is crazy.
There's some things I choose not to say. There's some things my mom has told me not to say. And I, out of love and respect and fear, I don't say things she tells me not to.
So the craziest thing I personally think that he revealed was how mad Kody got about the "What Does the Nanny Do" shirt. I mean, personally, I thought it was hilarious. He said that Kody doesn't even have a TikTok and wouldn't have even seen the video, but someone posted it on Twitter and then shared it with Kody, and he got into a ton of trouble for wearing it. But once again, who seriously cares?
Please don't let this get back to him. But after I wore a very specific shirt that said a very specific phrase, I was not digging at him or Robin. A bunch of oh, he's attacking Robin. I was not. It's a funny shirt. That's it. But after I wore that shirt, it really blew up. And Dad found out from Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. Somebody else took it from my TikTok and put it on Twitter, and he somehow found out.
I mean, first of all, his mom is the one who said it, and it's been one of the most quoted lines, from the season, so why wouldn't he wear a shirt to support her? And not to mention, he doesn't even watch the show, so how would he know the extent of the drama behind the shirt? But once again, Kody's taking, Robin's side over everyone else's.
I do recommend you find a soulmate. I do recommend that you find real passion. Somebody who wants to make you dance the dervish.
Well, anyways, guys, speaking of the nanny, remember when it was revealed that Kody actually got COVID at some point?
I think that my cure has been worse than the disease. But that's just a personal thing. Struggling a lot. Second-guessing myself.
Well, I'm sure we all remember how the nanny exposed everyone to COVID after Ariela's birthday party, which honestly just made the Christine's question about what does she do even funnier. I mean, Christine herself even pointed out that it was ironic, and then she said that she just couldn't help but chuckle at the situation. Well, Paedon actually revealed during the interview that Christine didn't just say chuckled, she died laughing.
I giggled or I chuckled a little bit. I lied to you guys. There are a few lies. Mom did lie there. She died laughing. Along with the rest of her kids. We all died laughing, and when we found out, in the most respectful way possible, because he's my father and I do love him.
Well, anyways, I will give Kody this. It seems like he was kind of right to be a bit paranoid about his family and the pandemic and COVID and everything. I mean, we all thought he was a bit crazy and over the top with the restrictions, but it turns out that maybe he was right not to trust some of his family members in this, because Paedon revealed that he completely lied about his Christmas quarantine.
To make one thing very clear, I didn't follow the rules. I lied and said I followed them. Mom asked me, hey, before you come up here, I want you to test. I want you to test it and make sure. And I told Mom, I haven't been following the rules. I work, I hang out with friends, and it's important that I do so. Because if I don't hang out with friends for 2 weeks, I can't socialize or do anything for 2 weeks. I'm going to slip into some severe depression again, which is a bad place for me. So I told Mom, it's not happening. And she said, okay, are you coming anyway? And I said, yes, I'm coming anyway.
I mean, isn't that kind of just crazy? I mean, they made such a massive deal about, this on this whole show, and then he just straight up, admits that not only did he lie, but that Christine actually knew that he lied. So what happened was Paedon told them all that he quarantined so that he could go to Christmas, and I'm sure we all remember Kody's insane, over-the-top quarantine rules so that everyone could get together for Christmas of 2020.
Second-guessing myself, which I probably shouldn't do at this point.
But apparently, he also told Christine that he wasn't really going to quarantine, and when she asked him if he would come anyway, he said yes. So Christine knew the entire entire time, which, I mean, you can have your own opinion on. I just kind of think it's just hilarious that she knew he was lying and never said anything. And he also said that he got tested before going there for Christmas, so you got to give him credit for that. And that the day after his COVID test, which was the day after he was going to be there for Christmas, Kody called him and asked if he could get tested again. And apparently Paedon just lied to Kody and said that he got tested again, and he never really did. I really don't know what to think about this, to be honest with you guys, because I mean, it's like, you know, I get on Paedon's side. Kody was definitely super overboard about this whole situation, this whole thing. But on the other hand, he might have kind of somewhat sort of had a point, I guess, considering that it seems like a lot of the family has kind of lied to him. But on the other hand, I kind of don't blame the family for lying, because Kody's rules were just so over the top and insane, and none of them were exposed to COVID until Robin's nanny, well, you know, exposed them all like a month later. So I just don't get why he's openly admitted to lying now. The whole thing seems kind of strange, but I, really have no idea what he's trying to do. But either way, I mean, it seems like he and Kody really don't see eye to eye at all with anything. And Paedon also talked about how he wasn't happy with Kody at all, and with how, he wanted to kick Garrison out of Janelle's house. And apparently Paedon and Garrison are super close, and they've been best friends for the longest time, I guess. So it makes sense that he would stand up for him.
She wanted me to move forward in life, and living with her, not doing anything. I had a crummy job. I wasn't even going to school anymore. I was not progressing. I was not moving forward. I was maybe even moving backwards. I wasn't even standing still. And she said I can't come with her because I wasn't moving forward. She wants me to move forward, and so she had to tell me to go. And it was one of the best things she ever did for me.
And he did also point out that all of Robin's adult kids still live with her, and Kody's there all the time, and he never says anything about kicking them out, yet he's kicking Garrison out, which does seem super unfair.
Dad had Dayton and Aurora, who are both adults, and Brienne, who is almost an adult, in the house that he mostly stays at, and
we noticed that, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And Garrison decided he wants to live his life and has responsibilities legally and financially to other things.
I mean, Kody is as much Garrison's parent as Janelle is, or I guess he's, supposed to be, but you can clearly tell that no one really views him as a parent on the same level as the moms, and that really says a lot about Kody. Plus, the other thing that Paedon pointed out was how, Kody will refer to the kids as Janelle's kids, but then call some of the kids, our kids. So it's like, he's definitely talking about Robin's kids when he does that. I mean, Robin's, always come first, apparently. It's just not cool, I guess. And not only that, it's just kind of sad to see.
There was always a distinction, and he calls them Janelle's kids, and he calls Mom's kids Christine's kids. He sees it in the same way. It was ridiculous. It was honestly ridiculous.
And there are some kids that get called our kids. We've noticed that.
And honestly, guys, I think it's kind of sad that he notices that. I mean, clearly, he and Kody have their issues, but they're also Kody's kids, and it seems unfair that Kody just so clearly displays this favoritism towards some of them, and it makes me feel kind of bad for him. I mean, Paedon, also talked about how he's not just close with Garrison, but also with Janelle, and he really seems to have a lot of love for her as he grew up really close with her. But the funny thing was, though, that when the interviewer was asking him about his relationship with Mary, his entire demeanor completely changed, and he said that he isn't even close with her, and he never really has been, and the same goes for Robin, and apparently he's never even really tried to be closer to either of them, and they don't really try with him either.
You're not
Never
close
have
to
been.
Yeah.
Never have been.
So I don't really know about you guys, but I mean, it doesn't really surprise me that he's not close with either of them, but it's kind of a shame that they've, seemingly never even tried with him, I guess. I mean, don't you think? I just don't know how to feel about it. But that all being said, there was another thing, Paedon said that I really don't know how to feel about, because for some reason, he talked quite a bit about his parents', romantic sides, and don't you think that's kind of disgusting and gross? I mean, they are his parents, so why on earth would he ever need to talk about that? But either way, he said that, they've had these romantic issues from the start of their marriage, and I don't even know, I don't even want to know why and how he knows any of that. But he also said that his family's problems didn't start with Robin, but that they were brought to the surface when she joined the family. And he said that, it wasn't a bad thing, but it was just what happened. But he also mentioned that it, wasn't really Robin's place to talk about his parents' marriage at all, which I kind of do agree with. I mean, don't you guys? I mean, why should Robin get to say stuff about Kody and Christine's relationship? It is just weird. So, anyway, speaking of Christine, he did say that when she finally kicked Kody out, the kids were all super supportive. They were like, "Go, Mom," which I honestly kind of find hilarious because you can really see what they thought about Kody and their relationship when they say stuff like that. And another thing that he did mention, but he doesn't think anything has happened yet, was that Aspen has been trying to set up Christine on dates, and he also said that while Christine isn't likely dating yet, she apparently said that when she does find someone, she wants her partner to be close with Kody. But I don't really know about that, you guys. I mean, I don't really think that Kody will ever be mature enough to get along with her potential future partner. I mean, what do you guys think? Put in the comments below, but I just can't really see Kody being the bigger man here and being nice to him. I mean, I have a feeling that if it happens, it's going to go pretty south pretty fast. I mean, don't you guys agree? But anyway, Paedon also spent a lot of time talking about Robin and Kody's relationship, and he has said some pretty major things that I just cannot believe he's putting out there. And one of the things was that he actually called Robin's, Kody's soulmate, and that it's a pretty bold statement to make. I mean, don't you guys think? I mean, considering that Kody technically still does have 2 other wives left, why would he call, Robin Kody's soulmate? And with a polygamous family, what does that even mean? So, he said that Kody did love Christine, but that Robin is clearly his soulmate, and that he's happy for him. And I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, I feel like that really makes it seem like Kody's only with Robin now, but, what about Mary and Janelle? So, how do they even fit in? I mean, the thing is, we all know that Kody always takes Robin's side on everything, but I feel that, with Paedon saying this, there has to be even more behind it. Like, it really makes me wonder what's going to happen with the whole family. There was just another funny thing that Paedon did say that I want to say real quick about Kody and Robin, which really made me laugh, you guys, and I just couldn't believe he was so blunt about this. But anyway, when he was asked, he said he really doesn't want Kody and Robin to have more kids, which, I mean, he literally said, "Please, no." So that was kind of hilarious, and he just went, from there. Well, anyway, guys, one thing I did want to get your guys' opinion on was when, Paedon was doing all these interviews in the first place. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I mean, he's not on the show. He's not really in the public eye at all. He literally said that he doesn't even watch the show. So why is he giving all these interviews? Is it because he wants to defend his mom, or is he just trying to get some exposure with his social media? I mean, he is kind of pretty active on TikTok, so maybe that's why, but I just don't really get it because it's kind of odd to me that he's been doing so much so recently. Like, the last thing I wanted to mention real quick was that Christine's new cooking show, Cooking with Just Christine, just premiered on TLC's Facebook page. It's actually been getting a lot of support, which is, I guess, great for Christine. People are really hoping that this will lead to her own show about her new life on TLC. So they're giving the cooking show a lot of love and positivity, which is honestly great for her. I'm rooting for Christine too. Christine seems super happy in the video, which, makes me happy for her. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. And I mean, we got a lot of interesting gossip from Paedon, didn't we? I think we did at least, but put in the comments below. He's definitely, been saying a lot about everyone for some reason, and I still don't really understand why, but I do think he's just, said some pretty crazy things. But on that note, if you want to listen to the entire interview with surviving sister wives, or if you want to watch the full Us Weekly interview, both links will be in the description below. And honestly, you guys, I barely scratched the surface with some of the crazy stuff that he said, so you'll definitely want to check them both out. But what do you guys think? Why do you think he's giving all these interviews? And what do you think of some of the weird stuff he said about Robin, being Kody's soulmate? I mean, do you think it means anything? I mean, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a huge, gigantically, enormous favor and hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button. And y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.